Hi, this is AA6RV, David Malin. Today I want to talk about putting together a Hardened Power Systems juice block. This is the juice block. It's a power distribution for Anderson power poles where you have basically one input and six outputs. And I bought the kit. So taking this thing apart, you'll see there's a back plate as well as the assembly. And this is the assembly. And if you've never done Anderson power poles, you're going to be in for a little bit of a surprise. Normally power poles are designed that you use one cable per connector, but as you look at this, you'll see, especially once you get past the first part and the last part, that there are double strands within every power pole. And I just thought I'd give some advice before you start assembling that. This is one that I completely assembled. And then here is one, I actually bought two of these, where I started and haven't quite finished putting everything together. So let's talk first about the entire assembly. It comes in basically four major parts. You've got the piece that allows you to assemble the plates and keeps all the wires connected. So there's that part. There's a back plate that has no holes cut out at all. And then there's these two parts. And let's talk about this first part right here, because this is where everything starts. The first thing you have to do as we start talking about this, and again I'll show you from all different angles because it'll help as you're assembling yours. Okay, it's very important that you put these power poles in first before you start doing any of this wiring. Now you'll see when you look at it, okay, again, this is the start. You need to bang these things through. And what you do is you will end up starting from this side and powering them through to that side. First, you need to put them together. And if you've ever dealt with power poles before, you'll know that the two pieces, they slide together. And it's important that you get them in the correct configuration. So as you look at mine and you're looking at the holes, you'll see that I've got the red on top, the black on bottom, with the tabs on, doing this on the video, so right on this side. And you'll notice it's consistent all the way across, and then you can notice the main one right there. Okay, what you will end up doing as you assemble it, you will take this plastic piece and put it on something very hard, and you're going to pound with a rubber mallet the assembled power poles from this side, pound it till you get them through. You don't need to use the pins. If you've known anything about the power poles, they have the pins that sometimes keep it together. This plastic piece grips it good enough that once you pound it through, that it won't move. They're not coming out easily. It's pressed in there very well. Okay, so start from this side, work your way down, and keep going all the way across. You're going to want to keep this plastic piece on something like concrete, working your way through, giving yourself enough space to pound the power poles through. I wouldn't advise using a metal one, a metal hammer, that is. It works fine. And then once I make sure everything is nice and straight, then I start making my jumpers. And when I make my jumpers, I start with one. I crimp the connector, and then I end up where I'm going to need two wires. And I end up making as I go along, I actually am making it so that way I can make sure I get when I have to do the connectors and pop them in, that I don't have to do bending of the wires backwards and forwards. So you'll see this. Now here is the one thing. When it came time to do the double strands, you could see this is a single strand, this is a single strand, but double, 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 and this one right here is a little bit longer than the rest. So I made this one just a slight little bigger because I had to go from here to this end and then that one back. What I did, which I don't normally advise to do with power poles, is I actually used a dab of solder, and just a little bit. And the reason being, clicking this in, I mean, I could do a power pole in a second. It's fast and easy. But when it comes time for doing these double strands, you've got to get two wires to fit through here, and the insulation actually sometimes wants to pull the wire out. And so by using a little bit of solder and making sure that I get the insulation through into there while I'm pushing down to click that connector into the power pole, that that actually helped keep it all together. I ended up having to buy a couple of extra of the clips, because when I did this one I did not use any steel, I mean any solder. I did this just regularly, and I just figured as I do this second one, I'd use solder, and it came out much better, and it was faster and easier. So I'm just giving you a little bit of advice of when you assemble this, couple of things that to help make your process of assembling a little easier. Bang these through first, use a rubber mallet, and then when it comes time for the double strands of the jumpers, make sure that you use double insulation. Of course, you're going to go all red to red. Basically, everything's in series, and then right, so yeah, it would be in series right all the way across. And then when you do the blacks, you're going to jumper all the blacks, and that's it. That's my my little quick tips on how to put together the Juiceblock by Hardened Power Systems. I hope you found it at least a little bit interesting. When it's all said and done, all you do is you end up screwing everything together. It's real simple. That's not the hard part. The hard part, for me, especially at first, I was thinking, do I need to file the holes here to fit these connectors through? But then I go, brute force always helps. So rubber mallet. Again, AA6RV, Dave Malin. I love the idea. A non-fused power pole distribution block. It's absolutely outstanding. AA6RV clear.